So we're going to go over how to set up a tool palette. The first step is going to be how do you even find the tool palette? And there's a couple ways to get to it. Probably the easiest is going to go to View up here in the ribbon, and you can click on Tool Palette. That's going to open up this palette or dialog box. This we can customize. We can add anything we want to it. Mine looks a little different because I've already got some things set up. So first I'm going to go over how do you create your own custom tool palette in here. So you can go over here to right click, go to new palette, and you can call it whatever you want to. So I just my tools. All right, and then you can start adding different blocks or
Ray, I don't
text
see the screen.
You don't see the screen?
No.
I don't see you.
Doesn't be either.
Okay, I see it now.
Did it just disappear, or what happened?
It kind of froze and then it disappeared. So if you wouldn't mind kind of going back a couple steps.
All right. So I'll go back to the beginning. You open AutoCAD. To get to your tool palettes, there's a couple ways to do it. One is just hold down the control key, press 3. That'll bring it up. Or if you like the ribbon, you can go up to View, Tool Palettes, and that'll open up this tool palette dialog box. So you can create your own custom tabs over here just by right clicking, go to new palette, and you name it whatever you want. So my tools, and from here now you can start adding content. So I will show how to add the layers. And those you can find in projects, standards, general requirements, reference. And it's the CAD file called Layers 2009. So it's as simple as just doing a Control C, just hover in this window over here, do a Control V. Once that's loaded, it shows a little image and whatever you name the block. So to insert that, then you would just click and you can insert that into any drawing you want. But if you want to add multiple, unfortunately, you got to do each one at a time, I believe. I don't think you can do. I'll try doing all these. Yeah, I don't think it'll let you do all of them. So you got to do one at a time. And that's just a Control C, Control V. I guess another way, if you like right clicking, you can go to your clipboard, copy, and then I think, yeah, you can right click in here and go paste. That's another way to do it. So once you get all those in there, yep, so then that would be all your layers. And then if there's something else that you want to add in, another useful one would be putting in our LDG symbols. So here, same thing, like if you want a revision delta. And you can put these all under one, or if you wanted to, you could make another one. Just go to new, and you could call it symbols.
How are you getting those on the palette?
To get those on the palette, you just do a Control C, Control V. Or you can go here, copy, and then you can right click in here and go paste. So it's just Control C, Control V, until you get all of them that you want in there. Once you have them all set, you'll notice if you haven't done anything with tool palettes yet, you'll have like a whole bunch of preloaded ones. To get rid of those, you're going to have to go over here on this little bar, right click, and go to Customize Palettes. And from here, you're going to have these palette groups. What you got to do is make your own. So I have an LDG one, and then you go over here and you start sliding in what you want to show up. So if you go down this list, like here's the symbols one, it's already loaded over here. But once you get them all loaded underneath this heading, then you can right click and click Set Current. So I will go ahead and set this one current just so you guys can see. You'll see it has all these AutoCAD preloaded tool palettes. But then I can't really find mine. You could go over here and you can scroll through them and try to find them, but I think the easiest thing is just go to Customize Palettes, set up your group, go to Set Current, then close, and then that only shows the ones that you want to show up.
Ray, could you go in there and show them how to set that group up, that LGG group that you have in there?
Sure.
Thank you.
So again, you go to this bar right here, right click, and you go to Customize Palettes. And then over here, you would just go to a new group, name it, and then you could just slide in. You just grab it, slide it in until it goes under. So whatever you add into that, and then if I go right click on it, go Set Current, you'll see that now that's the only thing that shows up. And if you want to add more to it, you're going to have to go back, right click, Customize Palettes, and you got to pull a palette from this list over here and slide it into the one you want. So we could go G, and you can see that it's popping up over here as you slide them in there. Anyone got any questions on that? It's right click, Customize Palettes, right click over here, do a new group, name your group, and then just slide in the tool palettes that you want underneath there. And then to set that current, you just go Set Current, and then it only shows the ones that you have underneath there. Now, since this is set up, and if you wanted to add a new one, you can just go here, New, and you can just call it New Palette, and you could just start adding stuff to it. And when you go into Customize Palettes again, you'll see it added that new palette under that group. Anyone got any questions? Want to see something again? I can go over.
I got a couple of quick questions, Ray.
Yep.
First of all, with the blocks that you're taking from these CAD files and pasting them into your tool palette, once they're pasted into the tool palette, they're not associated with that CAD file, are they?
No, they are associated with the file that you're taking them from.
Okay, so you would not want to like delete that CAD file because then it would break the link to your tool palette.
You wouldn't want to delete it or rename that CAD file.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey Ray, it's been my experience that whenever you want to add something that's custom to these, you should actually start a new drawing and draw it on 0 so you can manipulate the layers when you come in and put it on the right layer. And then therefore it has its own CAD file. Is that still true or no?
Yeah, that is true. I just referenced the ones that's in our standards
Yes.
because those shouldn't be moving. You could make a copy of these standard files onto your local machine and then just copy the blocks from that file that's on your local machine. That would also work.
Okay. I'm going to throw out some stuff here that I used to do back in the day when I was using AutoCAD. Is a few of the tool palettes that I really liked to keep and just to keep myself along with the standards was I know that we have some layers that you can actually take these and you can create one that's layers. And if you're ever working on something and you can just drop those layers in there and it'll give you all the layers that you need for the appropriate thing. And I know there's set up here is we got civil, structural, mechanical, plumbing, and electrical. So that should all be taken care of.
We do have some kitchen and interior
Oh,
because
okay. I didn't
we
see
have some
those.
clients that use decor layers. So
Mhm.
that's what the interiors would be for.
Okay. And then you touched on the symbols, and I think the symbols are nice. I mean, we do have them on the front page. You can copy them out. But what I like about these palettes is that these symbols go on and that they're all one-to-one. So when you drag a symbol into your drawing, all you need to do is right click on it, give it the appropriate scale factor, and then you're off and running. I see so much copy and paste that some of the scale factors on there are just mind blowing. So it's always nice to actually start from the beginning. It makes everything much easier, especially when it's printing. And you know what, if it's the wrong scale, we can go in and put the scale factor in rather than to try and figure out what someone's done, copy paste, and then really understand what they were doing. And then all of a sudden it's in a drawing and you can't read it. Another thing is under the metals portion, there's some blocks in there. There's a really good one that I noticed. This is just under standards. There's a really good one under there for the W sections. If you bring that one in, it's got a drop-down menu that comes in and gives you all the W sections. That's pretty nice. I was looking at that rather than getting in and exploding something or someone going in and trying to create these polyline blocks of W sections. What I tend to see happen there, doing a lot of CA, is people not paying attention. Next thing you know, they've got a flange that's, indicative of a I beam rather than a W section. And then we got flanges sticking out of our walls that are supposed to be buried. I was looking through the doors. The doors are pretty nice. You can put the doors in there, but what happens is the door block and the block next to the um, um, what do you call it? The clearances there. That's two separate blocks, so you have to put that in there too. What I like to do is put a couple of those doors in there that I use the most, the 36-inch door, obviously, and then I put the clearance one in. I mean, I didn't have to put the clearances in back in the day, but that door right there, you know what, you're going to use 90% of the time. Yes, right there. What I try to do is not really load these up because we have this stuff here. What I try to do is this should be like a quick reference that you can use that you find yourself using, 80% of the time. And then in that way, it'll help your management system. And then when you have these papers or these files like this, and you need something specific, you can go in and grab these things and bring them out. Also on these tool palettes too, and I tried this out today to see, you can actually you can drag a CAD drawing over to it. I don't know what the implications are on that, but I know you weren't able to do that back in the day. I brought in some stuff and I was looking through it today because there's some really cool stuff that I did back in the day. And back in the day it was 2004. That's the date of these files. But I can't get them in to the tool pallets because there was some stuff that I wanted to bring in. But the W section and the C section in the metal one is actually pretty good. And then another one that I actually like is the plumbing one. You know, you primarily use 3 fixtures. I mean, you don't need to take it down to the Toto, Kohler or any of that. You know, basically you need a floor mount with a flush valve, floor mount tank, or wall mounted with flush valve. I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're going to take that, look at that and have a good understanding of it, but to get to the specifics of it, you know, there needs to be some sort of spec or schedule presenting that data to the GC, because they're not going to be able to tell that from a CAD file really. So that's another one that I like in there too as well. And then I think that's, oh, there's a wood one too. Under wood, there's a block for 2x. It's better than all the explosions that I see all over the place. It's under blocking. I'm sorry, the block's right at the top, Ray. Keep going up. Right there. That block. I don't like the plywood one, but I like that one right there. If you drop that down, there's plenty in there. That's another good one to have. So again, you don't want to load these up and be overwhelming, because that's why we have these files sitting here on the server in a library for everybody to access. This is just to get you going and, you know what, get you 80% of the way there efficiently. And then if we need to dive into the nitty gritty, that's when you go back in and reference your library. That's all I have to say. I hope that agrees with everybody, Ray. I didn't mean to.
No, that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
cool.
I guess with respects to that though, if you do only add like this wood block in there, I'll use the metal because I don't have that open right now. And let's say you don't know where to find it, or it's been a while since you looked in there, so you don't know where to find it. An easy way to get to it is you can right click. It's not going to let me do it because that one must be broken. It usually lets you go to block editor, and then it'll actually take you to that file, and then you just close block editor and open it. Don't know why it's not. There we go. Because I clicked on it. So that just takes you to block editor. You don't need to change anything, so just disregard the changes, and it opens this file. So then now if you want to grab something else or add it to your tool palette, you can. Just a quick way to get back to where it's referencing this information.
I think the electrical one too you have is really nice. I was digging in that in the last couple of days. I'm just trying to familiarize myself, not really relearn all this stuff, but just familiarize myself so I can help the people in our office get their CAD standards up to where they need to be. I thought those were nice. And the only other one that I didn't see, or I'd like to see if we could get on the tool palette, that I think helps a lot, is if we could get one with dimension styles and line types that we could drag over. I don't know. I don't know if they're in the template because I haven't been through the template yet far enough, but those are 2 other ones that I really liked back in the day.
Yep. And that'd be the same once you find that dimension, you just copy, paste it in here, and when you click on it, it'll bring it over. I would kind of hesitate a little bit because it might bring in the scale factor that you copied it from. So you always got to check that scale factor based on your viewport scale that you're going to need it set at. So
Correct. Yeah. I did one for each scale factor, and I had them labeled as such: 48, 96, 8, 4, whatever, 24. Yep. So therefore I just could drag those over rather than trying to go in and think about the scale factor. So if I knew it was half inches, what, 24? I forget those things these days because I haven't had to use them in so long. But yeah, there we go. But good point. Good point. That's all I have.
All right. Anyone else have any questions or want to see how to do anything else with the tool palette?
Hey, Ray.
Go ahead.
On the wood one that you were just talking about for the plywood, on the Dave's drawings, someone created the plywood almost like a template so that you can basically stretch it to as thick as you can. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's got like the layer colors already built into it. So I don't know if we want to bring that in, or is that just a personal preference per the clients that we have?
I'd have to see what you're talking about, but yeah, this hatch pattern should probably be on a separate layer that's going to be lighter.
Yeah, that's what we have on ours. So
Yep. Yeah, and if anyone has any suggestions on blocks or stuff that we need to add to the library, that would be good. That way we can get them in the tool pallets and get everybody using them.
Yeah, I do. That's, do we have a masonry one? I I found some unique CMU dimensions. And if we could get, like maybe a brick and, standard CMU unit that, when we're doing something, everyone could array or do whatever it is in AutoCAD these days. Because I know that's what I used to do, is array those things up, and I had it set so I could offset that thing 3/8 and I could go up 10 feet and it coursed out. But yeah, there's been some block issues here and masonry issues. So I was wondering if we had any of those in the system. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, and those have a stretch on them.
Nice. Okay.
And they're dynamic, so you can switch between the different sizes, and if it's split face.
Okay. I didn't see those. Good.
That's a section, and then we also have the plan view, so same thing.
See that? That's nice.
Those are good, so when you're laying out a CMU building, that you course it out correctly and don't do some weird dimension, so then they got to be cut and block. And
That's what I found pretty much here in several instances, and I'm trying to get rid of that. So anything that we can do to get these things on there, on those tool pallets, that should all go away, or there should be no excuse for that.
yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you've got that hatch on there right now, that hatch on a different layer.
Yep. It's built into the block.
Yeah, if we do that to that plywood, that'd help out. All right.
Yeah, that's what I have on how you set up a tool pallet. I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. I guess one last thing to go over. I don't like it flying out like this, so I usually will dock mine over to the side. And then I set it to auto hide. So it's just right there. I can hover over it, go to the one I want, pick what I want, and slide it out here, and then it goes away. That's just my preference, though.
And one last thing now for everybody, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, because like I said, I haven't been in this AutoCAD stuff for a while, is that when you set them up, if you take your time and set them up to your own personal preference, you're able to take that with you to export that. Same with your key commands, I believe, if that still happens.
It's supposed to, yeah.
You can move it into what, if you're in 23 and you go to 24, 25, 26, you're able to take that stuff with you. So it's advantageous to, create this and get yourself a nice setup. Don't overwhelm yourself, get the basics that you need, most of the time, because we always have these that you can come back and get them. But, I think that's how, back in the day when I was the CAD manager, that was what I tried to emphasize. I mean, don't, overwhelm and put the one block on there that you may never use. Just use the couple that you're going to use for, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, and then you can always go back to these.
Yep, and then I guess one more thing to kind of go over, just try to avoid, like if you're working in a drawing and copying a block from that drawing and pasting it, because eventually that drawing will get moved to our archive folder, and then that will break the link and you won't be able to use that that tool palette no more. So you always want to set up a reference file somewhere, either in the standards, or you want to do it on your local machine that it pulls that information from. That's all I've got.
Basically what you're saying, Ray, is you don't want to set up a file in like the 2023 McDonald's folder, because come 2027, that'll be archived and then you're SOL.
Correct.
All right, well, thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everybody for getting on the call. I'll let you know where the recording's saved, and if anybody has anything else that they would like walk through, kind of like this, to share with everybody, please let us know, because this is not that bad to set up and helps everybody at one time. So, all right, everybody have a good day.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Scott and Ryan.